Hi, welcome to Friday's vlog, where I discuss and answer questions about Christianity. Today I want to speak to you about your worldview, or how you view the world. In my role, I get to speak to a lot of different people in a lot of different circumstances, and they all have a view of the world. I have a view of the world. My view has changed over time. So when I was an atheist, I used to believe certain things about the world, how we got here, what happened to us when we died. But now as a Christian, I believe something different. But in those beliefs, what I understand now is that they need to be coherent with each other and not contradict each other, because if they contradict each other, it doesn't make sense. So, for example, as an atheist, you could believe that the universe was just created out of chaos and it came into order and we are just here. But you couldn't believe then that there was something after death. Death has to be a finality and that's it. You couldn't expect to meet a loved one after in some different realm. It wouldn't make sense. That would contradict. So your worldview wouldn't be coherent, and it wouldn't be based also then on any truth, rather than be abstract or what you feel. And I meet a lot of people who speak that way, that they feel a certain way, or it fits in with the reality of life, that there is death and there is suffering. So their worldview is shaped by that, rather than shaped by truth, that they've lost a loved one and they believe that they will see them again, or they'll come back as something, and that they'll believe that that something is their loved one. Yet they would also believe that there wasn't a God behind anything. So it doesn't answer the question of, okay, if your loved one has passed on, how do they come back? And that's what a worldview is. And it has to be coherent. Each part of our worldview has to inform the other and be coherent with the other, rather than just being contradictory in that sense. And it also has to be based on truth, and it can't be based on any abstract idea that the universe has come out of this and that and that, and if you turn left and right and you went down there and you come up with this theory. It doesn't work. It has to be based on some truth in there. So what we have to take is something that is more in the mainstream, and not something that's abstract, and definitely something that's not based on personal feelings of what we think is right and wrong. So these 5 questions based on those 2 principles that I want to ask, and please put your comments below of what you agree with or don't agree with, how you see the world, and also on any topics in the future that you'd like me to answer questions on. Put them in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. The 5 questions that I want to ask you today, and please answer these objectively and truthfully to establish how you view the world. But also, if you see that they're not coherent, that they contradict each other, or if you see that they're not based on a truth and are logical, then please ask yourself why, and maybe go off and see what's going on. So the first question that I want to ask is, how did we get here? Where do we originate from? How did life and the universe begin? Which then leads on to the second question of, if we're here, what's the meaning of life? Is there any meaning of life? Is there any purpose of life and in life? The third question then is, where do we get our morality from? How do we know right and wrong? Who makes those decisions? Were they there before, or is it something that we've just invented as time has gone on? So where do our morals come from? The fourth question is based on the biggest question of all to everybody really, no matter what religion you are or of no religion. The question of suffering. How do we answer that question of suffering, or can't we answer that question of suffering? It's just something that just happens, or is there something behind it, or is there something that helps us with that? So how do we answer the question of suffering? And finally, the last question that I want to ask is, what happens to us when we die? Is there something more? Is there absolutely nothing? Do all these questions not contradict each other? Are they coherent, and are they based on truth? Next week in my vlog on Friday, I'm going to answer those questions from my view as a Christian, but I will also speak about those questions, what I thought when I was an atheist. So please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the episodes and you get them as soon as they come out. And remember my videos on Tuesday about what I do in my work and going out to meet some amazing people and the work they do, and speaking to people about how they became a Christian. So in the meantime, put your comments below, ask any questions you want, and I'll be more than happy to try and answer them if possible.